It was.
First things first, we got to talk about Argyle.
I'm the
Um,
realist. Oh,
we have seen, no, you're good. We have seen Argyle, both of us today, and so we're going to be able to share a review today, which is going to be hopefully a lot of fun to dive into. So, just to give a basic synopsis of Argyle here, we have Ellie, played by Bryce Dallas Howard, and she gets on a train. She's an author. She meets a fan. The fan basically reminds her of the character in her book Argyle, who is played by Henry Cavill as she imagines that character. But she meets Aiden, who's played by Sam Rockwell, who reminds her of that character, and she can almost like shut her eyes and see Henry Cavill's Argyle and all that, and then twists and turns and twists and turns and twists and turns, and we're gonna kind of leave it at that for the non-spoiler synopsis and not get into much else on that. But Jose, I'm actually gonna let you take the lead, man. What'd you think of Argyle?
man, where to start? It's a very interesting concept that I actually liked watching.
Okay.
Um, Watching two back to back author type movies because obviously the first one I saw was American Fiction, and now this one with Argyle. Um, the fact that this one was like a twist on espionage and like spies and all the twists and turns, like you said, that it had, and the comedy and the intensity and all of that was really really cool. Seeing obviously, like you said, Henry Cavill playing Argyle. Um, you had John Cena playing his partner, Wyatt, I believe was the name. You had Bryan Cranston in there, who was also an interesting character.
Mm-hmm.
Samuel Jackson, whose character was also, I mean, he always makes me laugh. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
he's just an amazing actor. So no, yeah, it was and obviously the cat. We can't forget about Alfie,
Cat was a big part of this, yeah.
who was a yeah very big part of this film and um, actually made me more of a cat person. I'm not gonna lie to you. Made me want to get a cat. That exact cat actually. I want to get that cat and I'm gonna name it Alfie. Um, no, but yeah. So from beginning to end, honestly, I was hooked in from beginning to end. Again with all the twists and turns
Yeah.
and everything to do with this movie. The fight scenes and stuff were also um, really cool. Um, there's a bit of a comedic aspect to some of the fights as well, which I thought was a nice, refreshing take. Because normally you just see, they're like serious fights, like for example with the Beekeeper movie and movies like that, that are also espionage movies. This one had a funnier take, which I really enjoyed seeing because it was pretty refreshing, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion.
All right, yeah, man. No, that's awesome. I'm so glad you had a good time with this one, man. I was so
And I saw it in Dolby, so it made
saw it
the
in Dolby.
experience even better.
I saw it
Yeah.
in standard. I will admit to that. The IMAX, just the timing didn't really line up for my schedule today. But I will say, I gotta say, I was really looking forward to this one. I'm a huge Matthew Vaughn fan, man. Kick Ass, Kingsman, X Men First Class. Guys like super original, and this is a very original take. Like he puts fresh takes into franchises. This one's one of his own original inceptions. So I was really stoked to see what he'd do here. I really wanted to have a blast with an original action movie today. I love this cast. I think that the cast was actually
Oh, we had Dua Lipa as well in it.
Dua
Obviously,
Lipa was who was actually pretty good in the movie. I'll talk about that here in a second because I thought she did
who's
a
now
pretty nice
really
job.
good friends with
Yeah,
John Cena after playing Mermaid Barbie and Merman Ken.
yeah, and yeah, man, I was just so stoked, and I thought this movie was terrible. I don't want to bury the lead on this. This
Fair.
movie, like, to me, just oh my gosh, I thought it was too long. There's about eight different endings. I thought the twists and turns were overwhelming. A lot of the times predictable. I don't want to give anything away, but I'm just going to give an example, non spoiler. There's somebody that comes to a door at one point, and once the knock happened on the door, I was like, I know who that's going to be, and they're going
Yeah,
to end
no.
up being this. And I was exactly right about that. Everything there. And then there's a twist that happens after that I thought was pretty good. But because of all the twists and turns that come after it, I thought it got ruined. I immediately didn't like. I didn't care about these characters from the get go. There is editing issues here too. I thought. I think with Henry Cavill and Sam Rockwell, the sort of switcheroo that they keep doing, you only had to do that once for the audience to understand what that was, and they kept doing it throughout the film. And it felt like just an excuse to have Cavill there. Massive Henry Cavill fan. He's good in the movie, but there's no reason to keep doing it over and over again. We got it the first time. Um, and then it kind of all kind of plays into the very end that I just end up not caring about. Um, anyway, because it just, yeah, the rest of the movie just didn't work for me. I think
Did you see the post credit scene
I didn't
or the
even,
mid credit
I
scene?
got the hell out of there.
Oh,
there was,
I mean, well, if you would have stayed, then it would have probably hit
okay,
different for you because
maybe.
there was a twist at the in the mid credit scene
You could tell me
that
about
had
it
me that
off air.
that had me like, holy crap, yeah,
Yeah, you can
no.
tell me about it off
Um,
air. I didn't
I
even
thought
think to
I
stay
thought
for
those
one.
edits between Henry Cavill and what's his name, what's it,
Sam
Sam,
Rockwell.
yeah,
Sam Rockwell.
yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it added a funny aspect to it, showing
Yeah.
the difference between how Henry Cavill's Argyle was, you know, doing stuff with ease versus how he was doing stuff. You know what I mean? I thought it was like
Yes.
a
I
funnier concept.
just, it didn't make me laugh. It didn't hit me. And I thought it felt very spoon feedy, to me, like, anyway. Like,
Fair,
I just thought
fair.
it felt very spoon feedy. Like, I thought, I don't like when a movie treats the audience like morons, and that's how it felt to me. That's how it came across.
Fair.
I gotta say, there was one. I mean, we were always expecting. I think every Matthew Vaughn movie has this like one really big elongated action sequence, and I think and this one has one too. It's toward the end, and I think the idea of it is cool. The execution of it did not work for me. Like, and I for that big long action sequence, you know what I'm talking about. And I was expecting one.
Yeah.
The one in Kingsman hits so much better. For me, I enjoy that one so much more. The one in even the first Kick-Ass was, a lot better to me. This one, I just like. I do respect that's an original idea, and I think on paper I do see why everybody signed on to do this. Like, I really do, because on paper, this movie had to be one of the coolest pitches I've ever heard. Because on paper it sounds very good, but you got to execute it, and I do think there's a good movie in here if you chop it down. So I think that this movie should have played maybe, man, hour 45. I would have taken an hour
I do
45.
I do feel like the 2 hour 19 was a little bit too long for the
It's
movie.
a long
That would
movie.
probably be that'd probably be my only gripe with with a movie like this specifically.
Yeah.
I just feel like the 2 hours 19 was a little too long. Especially in one of the last
Yeah.
scenes, I feel like that could have been, if you know what I'm talking about, could have been definitely cut down some.
Yeah.
Um, and
And
some other parts too. Like, yeah, no, I mean, I feel like this movie could have been like an hour 30, hour 45.
I gotta say, like, I think Bryce was pretty serviceable. I was happy to see her do something on screen, not off screen. We're usually used to seeing her direct Mandalorian episodes now, so it was great to see her on screen in something that wasn't Jurassic World again. So I thought she did a pretty serviceable job, honestly. I wish the character was written better, but her acting was pretty serviceable. Same with Sam Rockwell. The acting was not an issue for me. Samuel L. Jackson felt wasted in this to me. Same with Bryan Cranston. I mean, it's Bryan Cranston. He doesn't give a bad performance. He's just wasted in this to me. I also feel like there is one cool thing he does with the gun though that made me go, "Oh, I think you might be knowing."
Oh,
Yeah, there was one
yeah.
part I was like, "Oh shit,
I'm not gonna
definitely."
lie, that
Yeah,
part made me laugh. I'm
yeah,
not
for
gonna
sure.
lie
Me
to
too.
you.
Yeah, for sure. Me too. There was one thing he did with the gun that I thought worked. There was another scene. Oh, Dua Lipa. I thought for this amount of screen time she had, I was surprised by her acting ability. Like, it wasn't like this phenomenal performance, but she fit the role and fit the movie and fit the scene. I thought that was actually a pretty good
Honestly,
scene, that
for
interaction.
in terms of singers who are trying to get into
Yeah,
acting, I feel like she's actually
yeah. She has
one of the better
potential.
ones. Yeah,
She has potential. I mean,
yeah.
don't put her in a lead tomorrow, but she has potential. I
From Barbie to this, I mean, yeah, she definitely.
Yeah, I saw some good stuff there, and I like that. I like the interaction scene. It felt very Indiana Jones with her and Bryce there. Something about the tone of it. I like that. That scene was really working for me and firing up for me. I will compliment the score. I thought it was very good. There are decent shots in this movie. I don't want to say that there's not, because there definitely are, but like, not. There's a lot that I felt like were very lifeless at the same time. Like,
I also,
not what I'm used
I
to
mean,
seeing from
I
Matthew
also
Vaughn.
forgot. I forgot Ariana DeBose was in this too.
That's right. Yeah,
Her
Arnie Alden
character.
DeBose,
I feel
which
like
small role but serviceable, I guess, for what that was trying to do. I can give it that. Um, Yeah, that she was one of the few. There's not really a saving grace to this movie, but if there was, it'd be her. Like that character and how she was utilized, I enjoyed for Ariana DeBose. The other thing that I would say is like, I want to have a conversation with Matthew Vaughn. Be like, hey Matthew, why'd you hire John Cena? And he'd say because that's literally how it felt. Like because it's John Cena, we want to have him in the movie. Whatever. Wasted.
I feel like that's what the most of these big castings and I'm like, why'd you hire Henry Cavill? Cause why'd you
Yeah,
hire Bryan Cranston?
Cavill
Cause
made
like,
a little more
why'd you get Samuel
sense.
Jackson?
Yeah.
Cause
Yeah, no, I mean Cavill was definitely wasted too, but I also feel like he was a little bit more serviceable because he does have that like spy, thing about him. Like, people wanted him to be Bond there for a bit, so he has that thing to him. He's played a spy before. Matthew Vaughn is a filmmaker. I want to see him get out of the spy thing. I think it's just it's tired. It
wait, who?
feels tired. Matthew Vaughn, the director, he needs to
Oh,
get out
okay,
of the
yeah.
spy stuff. I think it's tired for him, and it's time to just. I want to see him do more original stuff, but not this. I think he needs to get out of the spy thing, because
I think he's done and he's done enough with in terms of the spy
and,
movies.
and automatically you're going to compare this to the first Kingsman because it's the other Matthew Vaughn spy movie, right? And
Yeah,
and you're
what a
automatically
movie.
and the first Kingsman's amazing, and this one not so much to me anyway.
And he also did The Kingsman.
Did he do that? Did he direct it though? Or was he just a producer?
He directed all of them.
I thought Dexter Fletcher directed too, but maybe I'm wrong about that.
No, he's directed all three of them.
Okay then.
I'm looking up. I'm looking up The Kingsman, which is
So
the
yeah,
third
you're
one.
gonna
He directed that as well.
and to be honest with you, the last two Kingsman movies weren't good. So to me, like
Yeah, no.
the first one was great, and that was great, and he needs to get out of it. Just go away from it. I thought he was only a producer on those last two, but yeah, so this really shows the spy thing for me anyway. Yeah, I'm tired of it with Matthew Vaughn. I just want to get away from it. But I
Yeah, I
want
feel
to
like he needs
see
to
Bryce do
venture out
more.
and do something new. Yeah, no, for sure.
I
I
want to see
do think
Bryce
that
do
she
more. She's a good lead.
put in yeah, no. If the characters and stuff are written better, I feel like she definitely can um be in a very good lead role.
Yeah,
'Cause, I mean, she did given how her character was in this,
yeah.
she did good for what was given to her for sure.
Yeah, this felt like a bunch of people that you usually see in smaller stuff say, "Let's get together and make a big blockbuster," and it just to me didn't work. It fell flat, and that's whatever. $10 wasted, but it's fine. I'm like I'm over it. To
Yeah,
me, it
luckily I didn't
just
have to really.
well,
I only paid probably like $2 or $3 for
well,
it.
luckily you enjoyed it. Unlike
That is
me.
true
So I
also.
mean, yeah, I mean, I'm
And even if I
glad.
didn't enjoy it, I didn't pay that
Yeah.
much for it
Yeah, man.
technically.
But yeah, guys. I mean, should you go see it? I'm gonna say no. I give this one a don't watch. But Jose, yeah, go ahead with yours. Your grade.
Um, I'd give it a might watch.
Okay.
Only because of the. I mean, I had fun. Like I laughed a lot in it.
Yeah.
Obviously from my Dolby. Definitely go if you're gonna watch it in Dolby or IMAX because I feel like that also gives the everything that happens in the movie. Um,
Yeah.
it elevates it for sure.
Yeah.
Some not to a must watch, but definitely to like a might watch because it's a fun movie. If you're one that doesn't really take critiquing a movie too seriously. Because I looked up the Rotten Tomatoes and I got a 39 from the critics and a 64 from the audience, so it's
Mm,
pretty split.
yeah.
So it seems like
Audiences are
mm,
digging it. Yeah.
yeah, so if you're one that doesn't isn't hard on critique like serious about critiquing movies, then
Yeah.
I would I would say you can go watch it because it is a good time, honestly. But definitely watch it in Dolby or IMAX if you are going to go watch it
Yeah.
because it elevates the experience for sure.